you like. Hellcase.
Watch the matches with bo3.gg, the official stats partner of CCT. Check out AI-powered predictions in live matches. Get access to live scoreboards packed with in-depth weapons and grenade statistics. Check out round maps in the match results. Extend your game vision with bo3.gg.
Yo, what are you doing?
Exhibit.
What do you think? I'm a paperclip? It's Mr. X to the Z. You need to quit browsing like a lame and get Opera GX. Because with GX mods, you can pimp your motherfucking browser. All you gotta do is click here, select the mod, and boom! New look, new sounds, new everything. It's not easy being a legend. Oh, shit. Not again. Change the mod now. Download Opera GX.
The champion of champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of the CCT podcast.
We've got a ton to talk about, man. There's just so much action.
It feels like it's never ending.
Hey guys, we have another interview for you today. Very special guest, Speedy.
First, a funny thing, they also call me Grandpa in my team because I'm so old.
What are your general thoughts on what might come for the next couple of months of CS2?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the CCT Online Finals 5. A very short break. We've just about got our breath back and we are nearly ready to go with our second best of 3 of day 1 of the event. I mean, game 1 had it all, Harvey. G2, they managed to pull out all the stops to take a 2-1 victory over Fluxo. Just about getting there. They were the better team in the end, but I mean, if that's how the rest of the games are going to shape up, I mean, I'm ready.
Yeah, we're wanting some excitement. We're wanting a bit of upset potential on the cards. It was there. G2 sweating for sure. You know, not going to be as easy breezy as they thought. And to be honest, I think this next one, in terms of like, you know, name value and everything, you'd kind of say, oh, Into the Breach, you know, I know those guys, they should be winning this, right? But they're in a bit of a topsy-turvy time at the moment. A lot of changes coming in, etc. So I do feel like this upset, although it wouldn't be as big, is definitely possible. Red Canids, for me, could certainly take this game if they can play as well as Fluxo just did.
I mean, yeah, if they can capitalize, of course, off that little bit of uncertainty right now in that ITB lineup, I will give them a little bit of respect, and I'll tip my hat to them with body. When they played in the last CCT Online Finals, they finished 4th. In that time frame as well, they managed to win a CCT event as well. But kind of since then, you know, with body, of course, going to Fnatic, with, you know, their roster kind of being all over the place. They've signed Tamiko now, being brought in on loan. Yeah, this is a perfect opportunity. If I'm Red Canids, I'm looking at this going, all right, ITB on paper should be beating us, but right now very beatable, and I'd be licking my lips looking towards this game.
Yes, absolutely. I think so too. You've obviously got the roster here, right? Some respectable names, but we have a few fallen angels, as it were. I think that Crucial, after leaving Endpoint, really did turn things up. Looked pretty great for this Into the Breach team. But players like BMAS and Masuta have obviously had a bit of a shine at the top level. Couldn't quite cut it, now having to drop down. But it's been a while for these guys since they've had to grind out the Counter-Strike, right, as you can in Tier 2. Tamiko's the one that turns a few heads, looking pretty effective. He played for that Permitter team for quite a while. Very young guy, looking quite good. He's only played their first game with them. They actually lost that today. But ultimately, on an individual level, he doesn't look too bad. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the Red Canids, another Brazilian team, if you are perhaps unfamiliar. If you see the Zhaos coming out, you know that's generally, or the Zeras, that's a pretty good sign of Brazilian squads. Either way, this is a really scary team individually. I don't know how they come together on a strategic kind of level, but you know, you were mentioning Venom Zera, another young guy looking great. Davideus had a great few months here. super, super consistent. Destiny, a name that a lot of people will recognize, been around for a while, and another great individual player. So these guys are really scary. If, Into the Breach are saddened by their loss earlier on, there is definitely room for the defeat here. They have to be very, very careful on that sort of overdog side, as it were.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last time that Red Canids took part in the CCT Online Finals, they were actually under Perquetta. With this core, this roster, the only change really is Davideus, and they managed to take a map off Monty. Myself and Ted were covering it, and it was an incredible game. They really pushed Monty to their limits. So I know firsthand that these guys can cause problems for a lot of teams, and I'd probably hold Monty in a higher regard than I would ITB. So if they're able to hold that form and able to bring that back, so to speak, we could be in for an absolute treat. Looking, forward to the head-to-head, of course, Mr. Consistent for ITB. He seems to be popping up absolutely everywhere and is the man that they usually do rely on, and that's Rallen. Need a massive performance from him, but as you can see, I mean, although these stats are going to be a little bit inflated, of course, because they are domestic stats from the likes of Davideus, they are still very, very impressive. If you're putting up a 1.2 and a 1.32 impact rating, you're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks fantastic, for sure. I think on both sides of the equation, we have sort of the consistent, reliable players, ultimately not the flashiest in the way that they play, but they always seem to be hitting that second spot, that third spot, and also pretty often in that first spot as well with stats like these you would expect. But, they're generally towards the top end of the scoreboard and just providing a lot of the mid-round coverage, I think, which is really, really important. Two very vocal players as well. 9Z maybe didn't play the most amount of Counter-Strike this year, it has to be said. Davideus benched in October, but very quickly moved on to this team, if not, an immediate transition, really. So, kind of interesting. I don't know that Davideus was necessarily the problem on 9Z, let's say, but that's a conversation for another day. He's obviously looking at the newer horizons and how he can perform here, and we, for one, at the casting booth, were feeling like he should be able to turn this game around, if he really is able to hit those kind of stats, again, in the European market.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've played enough games. I mean, if you look at the terms of the maps that they've been playing, domestically, I think the most they played is a Mirage with 27. So, if you've got 27 maps in 3 months, you're definitely playing a lot. You're getting the reps in. So, if you're able to bring even somewhat of that form over onto the EU stage, onto the big stage, if you will, yeah, 100%, we should have a game here. Looking in towards the veto, though, absolutely no surprises with a Nuke and Inferno being removed. We are going to see Red Canids, I believe actually it's ITB to pick into a Mirage. As I said, Red Canids are very familiar with that map, so that's an interesting choice by ITB. Red Canids, the Brazilians, of course, going to opt for the Overpass, and then an Anubis as a decider. The Anubis was actually that map that I was talking about that they managed to take off against Monty a couple of months ago. So an interesting veto, so to speak. I think Red Canids are going to be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. I think they will be in a really good spot, to be honest with you. It's, again, one of those matchups where maps might cross over. Both teams are pretty deep in the pools, The Ancient isn't great for Into the Breach, but other than that, both of these teams can play pretty much every single map in the pool, other than that solid permaban that they have. So that's a really good sign for both of them. But ultimately, I think that veto-wise, Red Canids especially will feel that they have a decent chance here to just level the playing field when it comes to the maps, and then focus on the actual gameplay itself, rather than in the back of your mind being like, oh man, not our map, we'll just wait for the next one kind of thing. They can bring it in every single round now, I think.
Yeah, that's going to suit them down to the ground as well, especially, when you're looking at a struggling ITB, if you can hit the ground running straight away, especially on that map one, and maybe take their pick off them, that would be absolutely huge. But some respect onto ITB's name. Their Mirage has been quite solid, although it has been shaky form. They usually do come out and perform on this map. So I wouldn't be so surprised if we actually do see, you know, ITB able to hold their own on map 1, but for this one, man, I think it's going to be a 3-mapper. I think it has it written all over it. It's going to be a very close, nitty-gritty game, and we are going to get into it right about now. Map 1 coming up.
Alrighty. Into the action here on Mirage. Nice to see it. You know, we're getting a fresh selection of maps. That's also pretty cool that we're not just casting Inferno over and over and over again. So perhaps it increases your confidence when you're like, damn, that was a nice shot. That was a nice kill that I just got there. Speaking of nice kills, Tamiko at the top end of middle will open things up for Into the Breach. Interesting there, Jack, that they leave window open. I don't think it was intentional. There's a chance they may have missed a smoke, but I'm not quite sure. I didn't catch the opening moments in terms of the smokes.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either, but yeah, that would have been a little bit awkward. I'd probably, you know, be 70% sure that it was a failed smoke. Of course, people going for instas, they're not perfect. You know, sometimes you do get them wrong. They are very pernickety, if you will. 40 seconds though, and ITB gonna make sure that they miss no smokes here. They smoke all across right side. It's a deep jungle smoke here. Destiny spots out Tamiko on this A site as Bimus is just gonna make sure he's comfortable enough to put this bomb down. I don't believe Venom Zero has been spotted there. Bomb will be planted, and Masuda now waiting. He is going to spot him out and deals with him in the back line. Big kill from Tamiko if he can find a little bit more, but no more to be gathered. Crucial spotted out towards mid. The bomb isn't down just yet still. Hard's out. If he finds Masuda, there's an opportunity. ITB, they waited forever and a day to get that bomb down there, and I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. Maybe the fights came in at the wrong times. He wasn't comfortable, but I mean, that really could have got away from them if they weren't super cautious.
All right. Kind of wacky from the Brazilians, you know. We know them to be a pretty aggressive region, particularly in the Tier 2. But, you know, I mean, obviously, King of Brazil is art. Well, maybe the Prince. Maybe the Prince. I think the King has fallen, isn't it, really? But, yeah. You know, all the same, Art is an incredibly aggressive player and is potentially one of their more successful players as of late. They have been shaky up there on the Furious side, but he's a great role model for the aggression, let's say. Nice early pickup for Red Canids. What can they do from here with said frag? They don't recover the gun, is one of the big things. So still a bit weak on the weaponry.
Very methodical, isn't it? About not kind of running into a stack here, not running into a pistol and SMG, but Crucial walks right into the crosshair. Knighton opting for that AUG. Perfect from long range. Venom's here. If he's able to find that kill, that would be absolutely massive. But it makes Hardsire's job a whole lot easier, doing damage with the Deagle, but it's only a matter of time before Rallen crunches him. Knighton wants a little bit more, and he will get it. Bimus yet to make his way out of the apartments. The molly should burn Knighton down at least, or at least force him into a fight, and that is one that Bimus will win. No idea where the other two players are coming from, though. He'll tap the bomb and look for a little bit of information, look for a 1v1, but falls in the duel as Red Canids get it done once again.
All right. I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Into the breach, struggling to find consistency. And yeah, Red Canids, I think, are fully in belief mode that they can win this one. Really solid stuff. And again, the unorthodox nature, right? Aggressive buy, got an AUG in play so that you can take the fights a bit easier, a bit faster. Ethan is absolutely flying with that thing as well. 9-2 right now, so yeah. It's getting better and better. We've got an awkward little buyout here from the Into the Breach side of things. So they are putting all their chips in, trying to even out that economy. But of course, trying to win the round at the end of the day.
Of course. Knighton, you know, if you're unfamiliar with his game, he loves to bring out that AUG when he can. And you can see why. I mean, he's very, very solid with it. A gun that is of such value to teams when they can, you know, when you have a player that can use it. Just those long-range, mid-range, long-range duels just become a whole lot easier. This round, right now though, for ITB, they're not being given much. And Canids not really playing for middle. There's a bit of information for Venom's here. It does a whole lot of damage, and that's onto one of the rifle players. So that's a big problem, maybe, for ITB. Nowadays, needs to make sure that he's not going to be caught out here. Spots the players out towards the ramp. Does have a little bit of backup, but he's so worried about that Palace position. Destiny backs him up to drop the bomb. Bimas needs to come in with a trade, and does. To at least keep this round in grasp, but Destiny tries to take it out of the hands of ITB. Tamiko, massive kill with that Deagle. The 3v3, you need to get this bomb down if you're into the breach. It's looking like it's going to be impossible unless you take a few more fights.
Fake plan. Oh, it's Rallen watching the cross. The trade is there from Crucial, and he gets both. Lovely clutch up with the AK in hand, and that's his first 2 kills on the board as well. No time like the present to come alive. Absolutely brilliant clutch up for Into the Breach.
Very limited as well, let's not forget. I think they had 3 rifles and 2 pistols, if I'm not mistaken, and they're able to get it done. Look, it's not pretty, but you win that round, that's absolutely huge for your confidence and crucial. Yeah, had to find the headshot. He was running out of bullets in that AK as well, so that really was it. If he missed those shots, he's going down. It's a 4-1 lead for the Brazilians. Rallen already crossing in towards ladder here. A lot of space going to be taken. Of course, this is a weakened buy. It is a force from the Brazilian side that they need to come away with something, but unless ITB walk into, you know, this aggressive setup towards A, I don't feel super confident that it's gonna bear any fruits. Don't pursue that. Let's give a little bit of information maybe for Red Canids to maybe make a little bit of an adjustment.
Ooh, nice find for Rallen. Trying to gamble on that B side of things. They've got the advanced position from Davideus, you see, but Rallen found the gap and he has absolutely abused it, shoving his thumb into that wound for sure. Keeping these players isolated on towards B. Ooh, a little panicky. Venom Zero lands a couple of shots, but surely should not be long for this world. Davideus kept the frags coming. Venom Zero finds Rallen. Oh, but there he goes. Yeah, just too low, too many targets, caught reloading, all that sort of stuff. Destiny, what you got for us? AK in hand, he's going to go for it. No saving here. He is very confident in himself, trying to get the one tap on the player in midair. Spotted them both out now, has a bit of a good-ish idea. Two-man peek coming in. Bemis has still got a flash to work with if they want to go for that. Again, Destiny trying to get the turn away cleanly, and he does. Here in one, does not find the frag, and into the breach. Keep the rounds coming.
There was chances. There was chances there for Destiny, for sure. But in the end, it just could not capitalize on the amount of space that he managed to kind of occupy while into the breach. We're so worried with those flash peaks because they've seen absolutely nothing. The element of surprise works in his favour. There's definitely a chance he had armour as well, so could have maybe done something. In the end, it's nothing. And now, after it all, you've got nothing to put forward into this round. A Deagle and Davideus, ITB, the recovery has been nice so far after the Brazilians look to take an early advantage. That's gone completely, and now ITB can maybe work on building an advantage of their own. Bemis takes down the only Deagle in the round. And you best believe every nook and cranny of this bomb site is going to be cleared. Although that one was overlooked for a moment or two. But it's still a very, very clean sweep of the A bomb site. No problems at all for round number 4 for the ITB side.
Yeah, seem to have turned things around here. In all fairness to them, you spoke about that experience and effectiveness on Mirage. It's definitely showing through here. There were obviously a good couple of rounds there for Red Canids where it felt like, okay, this is potentially a realm in which they take over. But Into the Breach have had other things to say. And yeah, every time Red Canids come in with a buy, it lacks something, doesn't it? It lacks the punch. Offensive utility is low, no AWP, no kits, you know. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on the early stages, a lot of emphasis on the gunfights. A quick trade comes out. The two-man boost into the apartment, certainly not something you see every day. But I think Into the Breach will still be happy to have found the kills and also some decent information as well, right? That there's potentially 3 on B. Not confirmed, but pretty likely.
I mean, there's probably, there's absolutely no way that 2 people would be peeking you that quick. So you can make a rough guesstimation, but, you know, you need to be just cautious that somebody could be fast in towards the ladder. But Tamiko already occupies that. Davide is now realising before it's too late. Rallen's got a nice timing. Knighton is going to go down. The boost up is going to be good maybe for 1, actually. Instead, Hards Out falls for nothing. And Venom Zero mollied off. The nade going to confirm his whereabouts, and even though it collects a frag with it, this round looking very unwinnable as every move he makes heard by Rollin.
Should be able to take him down here. Rollins, pretty confident. Is Venom Zero going to pay any attention to the apartments? Doesn't look like it. So an easy backstab. And that will be that. Into the breach, looking pretty good. Hitting 5 rounds. Should be able to get a 6th here. You'd imagine a few deals to come out for Red Canids. But yeah, just really not able to get their claws in the past sort of 5 or 6 rounds, to be honest with you. Into the breach have looked very, very impressive. Big turnaround. And I don't know, man. Just playing very touch and go kind of Counter-Strike. There's nothing too deep to it. But really looking comfortable all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Red Canids, you need to get Knighton back in onto the form that he hit. He was 9-2, now 9-6. Need to get an AWP in his hands relatively quickly. I think that will change the dynamic of this game completely. But as of right now, so comfortable for ITB. They find 2 kills here. Of course, this is only the pistols, but when you're winning these rounds as comfortably as ITB are, like, that does nothing for your confidence if you're Red Canids. Venom Zero gonna try and take the breath away of a few ITB players, and he's done a great job so far. He's been perfect for the double, but Crucial says no more of that nonsense, as they will claim a 6th. But yeah, I think the op needs to be brought out now. You know, it just brings a whole new dynamic of play to Mirage, and I'm actually surprised that it's taken so long for us to kind of see the AWP in the hands of the CT side. You know, round number 10, this is the first time we're going to see it. I think it might be a little bit too late, but that's the weapon that I want in Knighton's hands to maybe, just maybe, get back into this and quite possibly level this up before the half is over.
Potentially. Slow peek out here from Tomiko. Oh, he was close there, wasn't he? But Destiny just has the drop on him at the end of the day. Positionally. Okay, a little carefree there from Knighton. Still a man advantage being... Oh! Retain Masuta with the 1-tap. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, he's going to take that with a grin on his face and get out of there. 3 versus 3 now ensues. That's craziness.
That is one of the ones that you just kind of run away from middle, giggling. Just, you know, you won't believe what I've just done to that man. He is in disbelief. I think we're all kind of in disbelief. That was insane. But more so in disbelief, the lackadaisiness right now of Red Canids giving away that up for free without really doing any damage. Now they're giving away the B bomb site for free. You can understand that a little bit more, going for the percentage play, of course, but they've guessed wrong. But still in a 3v3, you would expect them maybe to go for this, especially with Hard Zao being so close. Venom Zero is going to get a whole lot closer. They are just going to really avoid Crucial as much as possible, but he is going to be quick, maybe, to hold the apartments. Masuda, he has to pick it up for now. So it is just going to be Bimus holding the front line as 2 players try and make their way out of market. Hard's out, not going to be spotted. Masuda is going to turn around at an unfortunate moment, doesn't matter. Bimus now hiding behind the bench and has to do it all. He's already collected 2. Hard's out, going to try and run him down, but Bimus will get it done. Another clutch going in favour of ITB. And man, Red Canids, they cannot buy a clutch right now.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point there. I was just sort of thinking the same thing. This has ultimately been a real battle of the 50-50 rounds, you know, the big moments. It's obviously a massive one here from Bemis. Said 1v2 at the end. I think we can class that as a 1v3, really. He did most of the work in that situation. But yeah, really, really difficult time for Red Canids. They're coming close. They're getting a taste of victory, just unable to convert them over the line. And something's just switched in the Into the Breach team. Really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, we didn't get to watch too much of that game earlier on today, I believe, against the Witchers. But, like, looking at this, it looks like it's a completely different ITB team. They are very dominant right now. They're looking very switched on. It might just be, you know, a curse of the early games. We know how much, you know, Counter-Strike players hate the 9 a.m. game.
Waking
so
up early.
Yeah, living that gamer lifestyle. You don't want to be up at the crack of dawn DMing before an official versus Smooya. So, you know, I can actually think of nothing worse.
He's probably not slept yet. You know?
he's 4 monsters deep right now and causing you a headache.
Oh, man.
At least you can be thankful you're not hearing him after every round. If it was on land, that would have been a completely different story. Screaming across the hall at you. But you've got yourself in a great position here. 7-3 up. This is only the pistols here. And you are looking pretty comfortable. Destiny, oh, you had a great opportunity maybe to catch a timing, catch a moment to take a kill or two. But in the end comes away with nothing. It's Venom Zero to get the ball rolling in the round though. As Rallen continues to apply the pressure out towards A. All the bodies are going to be here over towards the A side to defend for the CTs. Venom Zero with a double. That could be absolutely massive. He's even found 3. And Crucial now panicking, looking left and right. Venom Zero on for the ace and he's going to need it as Nathan falls flat with the peak. Crucial with the jiggle. Just wants the info. And now can play around, scoped in. Venom Zero knowing that if he wants to go for this peak, he's going to have to really go for it. Make Crucial miss. That's the ideal opportunity. The molly over towards the stairs is not going to force him out, surely. Up the top, the peak, and Venom Zero with the headshot. It's perfect from Venom as he spits it at ITB, and no antidote for that one.
So crazy, man. So crazy. A real big round for Red Canids as well, particularly Venom Zero here. As we see him on the replay, it's all about him, of course, but so well played, so well played. I'm just running through my mind. I'm like, just wind the clock down, man. You know, he was edging those peaks. He kept, you know, in and out, and for a second there, someone maybe said something. Maybe it ran through his head, and he was like, no, let's just chill. Make him force the fight, you know, really control the situation. Hards out. Gaining some confidence from his teammates' performance in the previous round. Looking good here. A 2-for-1 beginning for Red Canids in round number 12.
Back to the all reliable for the Brazilians. Just getting aggressive out towards middle. Hope for the best. Hards out. He was unnoticed. He's unchecked. Comes away with 1. The refrag is good from the upper as well. And you don't allow ITB to gain that control that they were able to a couple of rounds ago. And Crucial, well, didn't see it, but I heard it, and unfortunate. Walks right into the scope of Nighton, who's beginning to wake up a little bit. First 2 kills we've seen from him in a very long time, but they're very vital now for Red Canids, who just look different. And that is really just the morale that a round like that from Venom Zero brings.
Yeah, absolutely right. Like, really, really impressive stuff. For them, very, very different. BMAS trying to, well, pull this round out of his backside, of course. Not going to be saving here as it is the final one. What is he able to do? They know exactly where he's at. He's kind of trapped as well. There's not really a lot of space for him to work with. There comes the dink. There comes the second one. Down he will go. 7-5 at the turn of the half. Really well performed from Into the Breach. There was definitely a moment there. It's like 3-1. Where it felt like Red Canids were maybe in a position to just explode into the lead. They stopped that. They were actually the ones to take over the game. Red Canids, though, fair play to them as well, and Venom Zero in particular for a little mini comeback at the end.
Little mini comeback does mean they have a little bit of life, you know, moving over onto this T side. You know, the momentum is, so to speak, with you. You need this pistol to feel very comfortable indeed. Then we've pretty much got a level game, because I doubt we're going to see the force back from the CT side, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The pistol yet to be started, and it starts with a bang, or lack of one. The silenced USP takes Venom's head off his shoulders, as now Red Canids committing to the site, tapping away to Miko, just good for the one, as at least Red Canids try and spread themselves out on the site and try and get comfortable, but it's easier said than done. There's just so many bodies here from ITB, taking fights from every single angle and winning the majority, enough to seal an 8th round.
Beautiful stuff. Maybe not if you're a Red Canids fan, though. They will now be on the back foot on the T side of things. Going to have to come up with some fresh ideas. Are we seeing a force here, or are we committing to these ecos? I think we are committing to the ecos, aren't we? It will be an early rifle buy once again. Really cool stuff that we are seeing that become the norm, to be honest with you. I think it makes a lot more sense in my eyes. But it does mean that we're not really going to get very much from this round.
Unless... Never mind. Chalk that. That HE was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Crucial won't get the ace, unfortunately, as Miko will snatch that one away. But, I mean, Crucial might be a little bit disheartened about that one, but Miko saying, oh mate, but I get the 600, you don't get as much. Loss bonus, you had enough kills, you know what I mean? Give me some confidence. And now ITB are in a perfect position. They're in pole position, really, to take their map pick. And they won't have to face too many buys if they are perfect here, which would be ideal. This is where we usually see the Brazilian sides come into their own. Aggression on the T side, taking the duels that they want at, more importantly, their own tempo.
Nice find from Hard Zhao. Nearly in for the double, but surely he has set it up nicely enough. Crucial continuing to take the peaks is certainly ballsy. I'll give him that. Rarlan, meanwhile, has a pretty good opportunity from this angle, I have to say. Destiny, I don't know, will be expecting this. Tamiko's probably said, yo, mid's kind of clear, so if you've heard anyone around here, there's only really one spot he could be in. Oh, as the smoke starts to go down, Destiny makes the move and nearly finds the frag, but not quite. 3 versus 3. Set up very well here. Tamiko first CT in on the retake. It's going to take a while to get here, man. You know, Rarlan is really taking his time to clear out the market area. Molotov doesn't really find anyone. MP9 on the flanks, not quite good enough. Bemis has got to go flying in. Does find that headshot eventually. Knifin boosted up, though. Surely not going to be expected. Is he even going to be needed? I don't think so. Davideus with the double spray down has sealed the deal, and Red Canids will pick up the first rifle round.
Knifin goes down as well, so that's an expensive one for Red Canids here. I mean, you look at ITB's money, they can reinvest into this, absolutely no problems. And Red Canids know this, and they know that their money is in a horrible situation right now. That's why we're seeing the tactical timeout called. Coach will get in on the action, have a little bit of a say, have a little bit of a speak, and make sure that there is absolutely no questions about this round, because this one is extremely important for not only the round, but your life on this map. And to be honest, I wouldn't be too confident going into this one, considering the buy that they have for Galils. They're not as bad as they used to be. You know, I am quite a fan of them in CS2, to be honest. But, man, if you could just have a few more premium rifles in there, I'm not talking the full 5, but if you had, 2 or 3, you'd be a lot more confident, because you look at the other side, ITB, lacking flashes, but plenty of aggressive utility and the premium rifles to boot as well. And that aggressive utility going to be used there from him, as he wants to get up close and personal with Red Canids, who are yet to make their way out of middle. But it's looking like later on they are going to go for a little bit of a mid pinch. So ITB, you need to stay in this setup or get out. The flash comes through. Destiny with the pre-fire through the smoke. Tamiko at least gets that refrag, looking for a little bit more, but won't be able to get it, as it's tit for tat early on.
Nice pickup from Rarlan. That's a really big deal, actually. A man advantage now secured for ITB. Nathan, I want to creep. Got the bomb. It's such a risky move, but he feels he's found a gap. Just put the brakes on, wait for some teammates, maybe, because Masuta He's waiting. Nathan going to clear it, but not fully. And Masuta comes away with the frag as well as the bomb to boot. So that might just do it. Only 2 remaining for the Red Canids side. They've now, you know, picked up the pace, going a bit crazy, trying to find the gaps, and it's just all fallen apart, hasn't it, unfortunately? Like I said, I think Nathan should have taken the control that he had over towards short. Relatively unknown. It's a bit difficult. His teammates are quite far away, but just try and buy a bit more time before making a play, especially with that bomb.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go down, right? I mean, if you try and make that play with the bomb and then you go down, you leave your teammates in a horrible position anyway. You needed a hero kind of in that situation, to be honest. And unfortunately, Nathan was not the hero that Canids needed or deserved. 10-6. ITB, and this should be pretty smooth sailing, you would think. Canids now really need to tap into that kind of wealth of experience that they have on this map. Not in this round, of course. Cut and dry, clean as you like. 5 survive for ITB. And they even have a little bit of a money cushion to fall back on should they fall flat in this gun round. But, you know, Red Canids, we spoke about the amount of times that they have played this map recently. You know, this is where you make their money. The big rounds here, when you're under the pressure, need to make sure that they at least kind of get just a little bit closer. Even if you don't win it, just make it as competitive as possible. You don't want a complete whitewash on this T side. You've collected 1 round, but 1 will not be enough. Look, Crucial, he wants to continue to get aggressive. Knight and run boost on top of the boxes. Not too often you do see that, but he sticks the landing and sticks a bullet between the eyes of Crucial.
Lovely stuff. Really well played. Really well played indeed. 11-6. Red Canid's going to have an awful lot of work to do. Maybe it all begins here, right? Especially with that kill. Let's see what they're able to find. 1 minute and 15 left on the clock. Masuta is ready and waiting around this corner. Destiny going to get a flash into the ladder room. That's been heard. Oh, it forces Masuta out and he loses his fight. Will they expect Rallen? They certainly will now, but he corrects and looks pretty good. Not ready for the backstab, though. That's going to be the B-bomb site falling. And that will most certainly be the round with that frag as well. Red Canids doing really, really well after finding that first frag.
Yeah, that's what they needed. That's what they were kind of lacking as well in the round that we've seen. Not in the last, but the previous one that they bought in when they only had, you know, the 4 Galils and the 1 AK. They take fights with a lot more confidence when they have the AKs out, right? You know, they know that they're able to win the majority of the fights. 1 bullet to the head, that's all they need. And they stay alive here, to be honest. They lose that round. We can chalk it there. We can head on over to Overpass. But now ITB, it's not time for them to be really concerned. Doubt and worry might begin to creep into the back of their minds. Maybe in the next few rounds. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see a little bit of a pause from Juve here just to maybe settle ITB either in this round or the next. Make sure everybody is on the same page and singing from the same sheet, if you will. Crucial with that off out, and he's unchallenged on the side of Red Canids, but I don't know if the op is going to be of much help right now because it looks to be a very quick A execute.
Yeah, a lot of speed being attempted. Now they're actually being kept at bay pretty well by the Molotovs. So I don't know if they're still going to go for it. Looks like they will, but they're a lot more prepared than perhaps they would like. Crucial with a pot shot around the corner. Unable to find any frags. Bemis going to take a lot of damage, but wins out his fight. Rallen spamming away. Going to be caught reloading here. Venom Zera is incredibly, incredibly lucky to somehow make it through there without going down. 4 versus 4 in a bomb plant here. Red Canids in the post plant. What can they get done? Davideus, good for 1. Sets up another. Trades are brilliant from the T side. Just Crucial with his AWP. Surely he doesn't go for this. Surely it's just a save.
Yeah, it's a all smoke and mirrors that he's even going to attempt this, as he smokes and retreats. And now Red Canids have 8. ITB have no money and a big problem on the horizon. This is where we are kind of critical of ITB. The consistency that they are lacking. Sometimes they look extremely good, but then when it kind of comes down to the latter stages of games, they do kind of fall a little bit flat and almost run out of ideas. And ITB need to hope that that's not the case once again. Because if you lose your map pick here, you go over onto an overpass, although you haven't lost it in the last 3 months, it is still a fantastic map for the Brazilians as well. So you don't want to leave it up to chance. You need to be taking your map pick in a series like this. And Red Canids just going for the straight up A execute once again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, not messing around. First one going to come in onto Bemis. Boost up here for the AWP. Spot out towards Palace. Oh, it's close. I don't know that Hardzow will want to go around that corner now. That the shot has come off. Should be all good here, especially as the AWP now gets dropped by Davideus' play. Actually going to get their hands on the AWP and make sure that nobody can trade it. Davideus just running around like a headless chicken, as they say. Just 2 remaining now. Red Canids still got a bit of work to do before we start believing, but it is getting close. It is getting tight.
Yeah, not panic stations just yet, but if you lose this next round, 100%, the alarm bells will begin to ring. And Red Canids, a lot better from them. Haven't really put a foot wrong in the last few rounds when they've needed to. More importantly, you know, keeping their chances of taking this one down in regulation. Of course, you know, if they lose a round, they can still send it to OT, but they'll want to get it done as soon as they can. Still a few steps before we do get there. The aggressive play towards underpass, and Venom Zera. The flash didn't pop in time. Masuda goes back for a little bit more. Cost him his life. Bimus needs to find the double and does. Awkward exchange. So many people blind from different flashbangs. But ITB, they do come out on top. Knight and down. And Destiny, well, I think his fate and destiny might just be sealed.
Yes, maybe looking that way, the most tenured player on this team. Any homies going all the way back to Luminosity. I believe just after SK were, were picked up. Down he will go, though. Unable to roll back the years. Unable to find that clutch left. Reeling now. 3 more rounds to go here. Plenty of cash for Red Canids. That's the one thing that they've got going, but yeah, they're going to have to refine their mojo pretty quickly if they want to take us to overtime.
Look, they definitely can do it. 100%. But where is it going to come from? Because out towards middle hasn't really gone your way. You know, your A executes have actually worked, but this time surely ITB are going to be ready and set up for it. This time, failed run boost, you're not going to be punished for it. You need to maybe get a little bit fortunate with an open and frag here. It's still just such a passive default from really both sides, waiting for ITB to get aggressive, and you can understand why. I mean, ITB on all parts of the map have tried to make the plays, and it's the double off to catch out Knight, and Crucial strikes with his almost simultaneously. And ITB begin to just swat away this attempt from Red Canids. We thought the comeback might be on, but unless Hardzow and David just come up with something magical, it's not going to happen, and it will not happen. ITB lock in their map pick.
Yeah, maybe not super expected there, but definitely after that run that we saw in the first half, I think that we were like, okay, they are the better looking team here, certainly more capable, and really did prove that I think, on that map. You know, having to dig a bit deep. Obviously, a rough morning for them, as we've mentioned, unfortunately, in the earlier game. But at the end of the day, looking really, really good. And I think that we can be pleasantly surprised by what we saw from Red Canids. For sure, some decent rounds in places, but a few rounds as well that just look very messy, very uncoordinated. Maybe that will change moving forwards. We've obviously got their map pick coming up, and it is a pretty solid one for them in Overpass. But Into the Breach, you know, a couple of times, 3 times played, they're also not looking too bad. So I think it will be interesting here, but I think Red Canids sort of wanted to get out of Mirage as quickly as possible with that one towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, you need the response here from Red Canids. They definitely can do it on their own map pick, but you would be a small bit concerned that ITB have been, you know, unbeaten on it. Although that be with, you know, a different full 5, but it is only one player that is being changed out. So the core should be there, the fundamentals should be there, and Tamiko, you know, he held his own in that game. You know, he did his job. He came away with some big kills. So, you know, to be honest, I'd be worried if I'm a Red Canids fan. I know that I've usually been the beacon of positivity for the Brazilians, but yeah, you definitely need to be a little bit concerned about map number 2. But all that concern will be put to bed. We should have answers after a little bit of a break. Myself and Harvey will see you guys then.
A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-Bet.
Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Watch the matches with bo3.gg, the official stats partner of CCT. Check out AI-powered predictions in live matches. Get access to live scoreboards packed with in-depth weapons and grenade statistics. Check out round maps in the match results. Extend your game vision with bo3.gg.
Yo, what are you doing?
Exhibit.
What do you think? I'm a paperclip? It's Mr. X to the Z. You need to quit browsing like a lame and get Opera GX. Because with GX mods, you can pimp your motherfucking browser. All you gotta do is click here, select the mod, and boom! New look, new sounds, new everything. It's not easy being a legend. Oh, shit. Not again. Change the mod now. Download Opera GX.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the CCT Online Finals 5. Nearly ready to jump into map 2 between Red Canids and Into the Breach. Into the Breach were good enough to take their map pick and put the pressure really on the Brazilians, but looking forward to an overpass. A great map for Red Canids. ITB have been perfect on it in the 3 times that they have played it though. The problems might be there for the Brazilians, Harvey, but surely they'll be confident going into it.
Yeah, it feels like it should be a 3-mapper all day long, right? That's what we were saying at the turn of the veto and everything. I don't know, it's kind of a weird one. Obviously, you've got Tamiko coming in just as of today, so he wasn't there on those 3 victories that have been played. They've actually not played it really for a couple of weeks. I think it's just a map that they're slowly but surely working into their map pool. And I guess by virtue of the way that it's gone, teams that they've played, they've just not played it all that much. But like you say, when they have played it, it's looked okay. It's actually, this is where you have to go back a little bit at the moment, look at those stats and everything. There's only 2 maps that they've played in CS2. One of those wins that they have was actually in Go. So that kind of just goes to show how rarely they've ended up playing this map. Again, like I say, just by virtue of the way that it goes,
Nuke has been there permaban for a long time. So yeah, I think that they've just gotten into a weird position with the overpass. So we'll see. We'll really see on this one. Maybe it is a map that they've been working on since 2's come out. Maybe it's a map that they go into a little carefree, you know, try some stuff out, be a bit experimental, not too expectant to win it. And hey ho, they have actually been winning it. So yeah, I do feel it could be very curious here. As we talked about a little bit in the break there, I believe, starting off on the CT side as well of overpass. Usually something that's lent into quite heavily, maybe too heavily, but when it comes to overpass, like the CT side can be so dominant. We've seen teams like Heroic really change the name of the game on this map, and it has trickled down now. So yeah, if Red Canids struggle on this T side, struggle to get off the ground, we could see a really dominant first half from Into the Breach.
I mean, so far we've seen some great Brazilian T-sides, so I wouldn't be overly concerned about it. But yeah, that's, you know, it's 100% could be an issue. If, you know, you don't get going on your T-side, you might not get going at all on your CT side, or not even get a chance to. Could be one of those map picks that, yeah, you know, that they've been kind of working on, or that they've been hoping that people haven't picked, but then again, they picked it, and then, you know, they've kind of come out and beaten them on it, and then other teams are now afraid to pick it, even though it mightn't be a great map for you. It might be one of those situations going on, I'm not too sure. I just wonder, you know, as a 5, how much will they have actually prepped for Overpass, if at all? Probably not all that much would be my guess. But you never know. You never know about these things. They could just, you know, be one of the best overpass teams that we've seen on the tier 2, and they just don't know it themselves. Maybe it'll transition into a map pick of their own if they continue to win on it.
But I know one thing for sure, Red Canids, they need something here. They need to come back with a response, or else they'll be joining their Brazilian brothers down in that lower bracket. And, you know, they need to wave that flag of Brazil very, very high, and we'll see if they're going to be able to survive and take us to a map 3, because we are jumping into Overpass right about now.
Straight into the action as well, not wasting any time on this one. A lot of utility brought up by the Red Canids. Already 20 seconds into the round, they're taking their sweet time getting out of the T-spawn area. P250 raid boss. A lot of good stuff going on. 2 sets of Julies for Into the Breach though. It's bought so much in pistols, and the sort of purchase to effectiveness ratio is a lot worse than you would think. Crucial and Rallen, though, around this corner. I don't think they're going to be expected at all. Whoa, an absolute clothesline onto Rallen. Really solidly done there from Crucial to find 2. Masuta going to give them control of the site. Flash comes round, doesn't blind him. Clean headshot. Aggression coming in from Bemis, who will end the round single-handedly. A very, very fast round once it got going, but it was Into the Breach that found the method in the madness.
Interesting that Missoula just does not get blind there. I mean, fair enough. Crucial probably shouldn't have got a second there, but Missoula just surviving there is so huge. Just vital for ITV, because Red Canids, they're concerned about him. He could peak at any time. You know, they know he might be low. They know he might be waiting for a few players to rotate up. But, you know, he is still a massive danger in that round. And even just coming away with that kill on low HP, massive for the round. And then, I mean, just a perfect retake. You don't put a foot wrong. You know, you hit the insta headshots with the USP. No problem whatsoever. This one should be as good as done, unless somebody ventures into a peek into that short pipe, which would be absolutely horrible. But instead, the monster walk should just happen, and Tamiko, this is a perfect opportunity for him just to rack up a few kills. There's going to be no flashbang. It's just going to be the deagle of Venom's here to try and walk your way through. You swing, you see a lot of players out, you run out of bullets, you scream for your teammates' help. And if you're Red Canids, you come away with 2 kills, so not too shabby. You know, you lose a few weapons, you make a few players read by. Yeah, not bad.
For the contact out monster no buy, I think that's pretty good. 2 kills.
Yeah.
I think we're generally looking at a situation like that, Tamiko's positioning, and you think, man, this should be a slaughter. But they do okay. They do okay. And both on the same player as well, so Hadzao, you can see, has got a really clean buy out here. which is very nice indeed. So let's see what Red Canids have got in their back pocket. Decent nade damage to open us up on the Into the Breach side of things. Bit of a swing out on the boost there. Kind of an unconventional boost as well, not the super common angle these days. Either way, nothing really coming off the back of these early plays.
Double back towards B here. It'll be interesting to see, are they going to even attempt to go out in towards short, or is it just going to be the monster popping? ITB are expecting an A player. They've got everybody up there. Tamiko knows that he has to play this one a little bit more passive. He's still a little bit too aggressive for my liking. He needs to back up into ABC, which he will do. So as soon as he sees contact, he's just going to be screaming for the rotation. The players down. There's the molly ready to force him out, but caught in absolute no man's land there. Destiny takes him down, and B under lock and key right now for Red Canids. Surely this one is as good as done for ITB.
Yep, certainly feels that way, to be honest. They just have no real presence. And indeed, just going to give it up. So there you go. A pretty easy round, right? For want of a better word, for Red Canids. Just kind of guessing the right way. I think we'll definitely see Into the Breach put up an effective fight in the next round, which is a pretty big deal. But they'll be happy to be on the board this early on. And just getting some control. Usually, like the early T-side rounds, if you're winning them and stuff, it can really set the pace, you know, and make it hard for your opponents to answer back. But after a round like that, I don't think it really changes much, you know? It's just a dub in the win column. Not really much more than that for Red Canids. It's not like, okay, we're in their heads now, or we've broken their bank, or they're not going to know what our next move is. You know, there's less to it than that.
Yeah, I mean, ITB, they outplayed themselves a little bit as well. They went for the El Clasico way of playing Overpass, which is, let's gamble stack a site when we've very little information. You know, we've heard some snippets of utility. Let's just leave, you know, one or two people towards a bomb site. And in this case, it was just Tamiko there left alone. So not really much you can do to defend about it. Now you at least get to play around with rifles. You've got Tamiko on a FAMAS, which I'm sure he's not going to be thrilled about, but it's better than just a Deagle. Rolling up close to connector. Two players line up, but Hard's out with a quick and easy headshot. Already thinning the herd of ITB. We might see another little gamble stack come into play once again from the Into the Breach boys. Masuda surely got at least a glimpse of Hard's out there towards connector. You can see Crucial still aggressive here, which is a little bit of a problem. He's no idea if there's anybody up close in toilets, so that could be a little bit of an issue. David is being flashed out towards Monster just to apply the pressure and keep ITB guessing. And the bomb's still here towards B, but I have a funny feeling it's going to make its way up to A very shortly.
Looks that way, doesn't it? There's definitely, again, a really solid position for the side of Red Canids to be in. They've gambled the correct bomb site. So we'll see. Crucial giving his position up a little bit as well. So he's really passive on A here. Oh, just as someone crosses in, he drops the angle. That is such a damn shame. Hardzao takes a couple of shots in the backside, but ultimately is able to survive it. Like, he couldn't really write the timing on that one. It will be another save angle for Into the Breach. These early rounds just getting the better of them at the end of the day, Jack. It is unfortunate. They should be able to save pretty easily, but yeah, they obviously want a bit more competition in the rounds than this.
Yeah, it's, you know, we've seen that now twice, that they leave one person towards a bomb site and just, you know, you kind of have to play Overpass sometimes like that, but eventually you're going to have to look for information, right? You know, this isn't a viable defense that you can put up on the map where you just kind of flip a coin almost, you know, all right, which bomb site are we going to stack this time around? Like, you need to start making these information plays, and Now, what went against them there was Red Canids, you know, they did drop a lot of util out towards the B site. There was smokes up that ITB had dumped themselves, so they couldn't really see towards Monster to see if anybody was out. And Davidus was selling the fake nicely on his own. But that only works a few times before ITB kind of catch on, so I'm expecting them maybe to get a little bit more aggressive to kind of take that control early on, and that's exactly what they're going to do here, it would seem. The peak towards long, Destiny playing this one very, very passive. He's not going to be spotted out just yet, and timing is absolutely everything in this scenario, and it goes against them this time around. ITB don't know it, but they've got all of middle, and now they can make those gamble adjustments.
Rallen with the sneaky little angle here at the top end of the slide. Oh, it's expected. Okay. Fair enough. Clean frags. Oh, and they're giving the lead away here. Crucial's got to watch his backside as well. Hadzar was just round that corner. Decides to call off the push, but... oh, yeah, they're very panicky, aren't they, at this point in time. Into the breach will still be digging for information. I like the move from Bemis. Not bad at all. The round itself is certainly in jeopardy, where it fell into the breach. We're in a really good spot. They have since lost that control.
It's a fantastic off angle there that not a lot of people are going to clear. Just get the advantage. You find that kill. Now Red Canids are going to be a little bit worried. Bimas' long is going to be cleared at least by Crucial. Bomb should go down here. Venom Zera actually going to be dropping Masuda on top of the dumpster, and he's going to get a hat-trick of frags, shutting that round down pretty much on his lonesome. I mean, you know, just Bimas being alive after finding that single kill was enough to keep Red Canids just a small bit concerned, and just allowed a lot of space for Masuda just to really grab that round with both hands. And a lot better from ITB. They get aggressive, they take that control. Even though they lose these two fights, they lose these two players, you know, you can be a little bit critical of that. That's what we need to see from ITB if they're gonna, you know, take this map pick away from the Brazilians. Need to make sure that they just do not give them an inch and let them play their own game.
Liking the moves, liking the way that this game is panning out and continuing to bring us the competition that we are after, you know what I mean? Like, there's just... feels like very little to split these teams at the moment. Tech pause coming in, first one of the day. You know, we've done all right up until this point, Jack, but unfortunately, we are due one.
Yeah, online Counter-Strike, I mean, it has to kind of come into fruition. You know, you can't get too many memorable moments without it being split up by somebody's mouse having a problem or somebody's internet going down. But at least it looks like this one is a quick one. The long, drawn-out ones definitely are the worst. You know, where it's an internet issue or a power outage or something like that, and you don't know when it's going to happen or when it's going to come back. But, yeah, it looks like at least Red Canids are pulling at the chain here, ready to go. Still just waiting for this mouse issue to fix. Will be intriguing to see how Red Canids are going to approach this now, because, you know, we've seen the aggression come out in that round. Surely they've had a lot of time now to think about that adjustment that ITB have just made. So maybe a lot more passive from the Brazilians here, or do you think they're going to try and fight fire with fire and maybe get aggressive in towards short and try and take that piece of the puzzle away?
I think something different would be good. I think something different would be really good. Yeah, they really have been playing a more responsive game. I think that there's clearly some nerves, right? And they're just kind of not as proactive. I think that's ultimately what you're looking for, right? Is some proactive gameplay. So hopefully they do change things up. I think towards short's not a bad idea. It really is an area as well that is often hotly contested. Even if there's no one there on the opposite side, you've got a good amount of control to work with. You can leave a player there, or you could maybe try and set up a flank if you want. or you could go into connector. You know, it just gives you so many options if you get that control.
Just such a power part of this map, really. So when you just have all of that, you know, it's so difficult to try and get you out of there. Will be interesting to see if Red Canids are going to take that approach, or are they going to continue to kind of explore their options up towards A. Once again, we continue to it. Funny story, actually. Last CCT Online Finals, this I thought was really good. A little bit of a wholesome moment. So, one of my friends, one of my best mates, moved over to Australia about 7 months ago. Didn't, you know, he knows I'm a commentator, he knows I'm a caster, but doesn't really, you know, delve into the CS world all that much. And when I was covering a game with Ted last time around, ended up getting a message from him just saying he was in this random bar in Australia, and he was like, oh, you know, they're showing Counter-Strike here. And turns out it was actually one of the games that I was covering, and not 5 minutes later I popped up on the screen in some random bar in Australia. What are the chances of that?
Ah, brilliant, man. We love the Aussie fans, you know,
Yeah.
for good reason. They're not just watching IM Sydney, they're watching all the Counter-Strike. So
Very
there
true.
you go.
And we've got an Aussie team for the very first time in the CCT Online Finals. We've got Vertex. You know, they're going to be taking part in a few days. Exciting times for Aussie fans. More of a reason to watch. Get it on every pub in Australia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. You know, we're all here for it. We obviously had a wonderful team a few years ago in the form of Renegades, yet to find that same success. But, you know, you'll get there. I say we like I am Australian, but I'm not.
We're all Australian.
Yeah,
in our hearts. In our hearts.
Yeah, we're all enjoyers of alcohol in the you know, in the end of the day. Either way, Rallen will have to put up a good defense here. Taken down by Venom Zero. 5 on 4. Ooh, big flank from Davideus there. I think that might make all the difference now. Masuta smoked off. Tomiko and Bemis smoked off as well. Don't really fancy their chances too much. Masuta's sticking around, hoping to find someone lurking on the edge of a smoke here, but I don't think it's going to happen for him. Nothing presenting, and we are back to our instability here. Both teams able to snatch around, but nobody can hit that consistent string that they're after.
Definitely favours Red Canids more than it does ITB. You know, the money on the CT side, we know it to be just so fickle, the economy. And when you get these kind of like trade force wars, if you will, it's just gonna absolutely shred the CT's money in comparison to the T side. So Red Canids, I'd say, would be a whole lot happier. Also, you know, the fact that they're not letting ITB just run away with a massive, monstrous defense, which was, you know, something that we were concerned about before jumping into the map. So, all in all, Red Canids happier of the two, but will be, you know, a lot more gleeful if they're able to take the lead here with this round. Rallen is still a danger on that SMG, no matter where he's playing. I believe he's sat in toilets as of right now. The issue kinda now does rely on the fact that Red Canids, they don't have too much utility in terms of smokes. They've only got 2 smokes left to try and execute onto a site. They can't really smoke off from toilets here. They can't really, you know, afford to fake anything over towards B. Crucial. Gets a perfect timing, because as he's falling, spots the information on the player, and now can back away safely on the site, call for rotation if it's needed. But as of right now, ITB don't seem to be too worried.
Utility over the top here. Big frag from Crucial. I don't know whether he'll be expecting another player in from that angle, though. Masuta doing well to find Destiny. They're being held at bay until this AWP gets dealt with, and there he goes. 3 on 3. they committing A? They are indeed. Smoke's going to start to dissipate in just a second, though. Bemis ready and raring to go. Masuta with an aggressive angle despite being on low HP. Nearly in for a big 3-piece, but his HP fails him. All the same, they're going to deny the bomb plant there on the Into the Breach side as well. Retaking that lead. There will be a buy back in from Red Canids, but it's not going to be the best. So there's a lot of chips in this one.
Most important round of the series so far. This is vital for both teams. Heavy reset potential for not only the T side but the CTs as well. I mean, if ITB get caught sleeping here, that's a big problem. Interesting to see what Red Canids are going to go for. Crucial in towards connector. You've seen Rallen go for a little bit of a peek towards middle. Crucial, whisker away from that one. Gets a second chance at it as well. How many more chances is he going to want to take or not take? He backs away. Needs to go away safely. The issue is, I mean, this is not being heard whatsoever. And you are going to be flanked by not one, not two, but 3 people. Unless Masuta catches the timing. And I think he might have just beaten it.
Crucial tapping in, though. Masuta, ooh, down pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't think he was expecting them at all. Rallen going to be the next one to fall. It's all a bit of a mess here. Rotations coming in. Crucial has to stay alive. Doesn't know where this player is on the backside. Spots him now. It's not going to be easy, man. Not going to be easy from here on in. Tomiko, edge of the smoke, going to go creeping in. Easy frag for Destiny. Probably a save from here, and even that will be tough. Bemis should be able to make it out, but Red Canids, again, going to respond. So we are incredibly back and forth here. Really, really unpredictable game.
Yeah, unpredictable so far. Now it's getting very predictable because ITB, they don't have, you know, the 2-3 players saving that they did in previous rounds. They've got Bemis. That's it. They've one AK. And then, what? He can drop over an SMG, maybe, to, you know, Masuta or Tomiko. Crucial. What can he even buy? If he wants to forfeit armor and play like a Deagle or something, he can maybe drop over an M4 to secure maybe ITB's best chances of actually winning a round. You can see that they're kind of discussing it to see what they can muster and what they can buy up. Bruce is just going to go ahead and purchase a FAMAS. I mean, I don't hate that either. FAMAS is a whole lot better than what it used to be. But if you're Red Canids now, you're going to be absolutely over the moon because you know this buy is going to be shaky at best. And this is your chance to pull yourself into the lead when we're getting to the business end of the first half.
Three-man boost, not going to spot anything out, unfortunately, so they'll probably get off that in a second or two, of course. It does force you off eventually. What's happening here? A little tough getting up on the boost for Venom Zero. Looks to be a long hit. Utility over the top. Crucial, though, with a well-timed smoke. Should be able to keep them at bay. No way. Oh, hell yeah. That's what we like to see, but they are very ready for this A hit. Deagle unable to find very much. Bemis at the back end of the site, though, has been miscommunicated. They don't know where he's at. He's found 2. Still alive. Going to get another. What a round from Bemis. 4K in total. Davideus remains alone. Can he deny the ace? Can he win the round? Not on your life. Say Into the Breach, and not on your life, says Bemis. Beautiful ace coming through from the saved AK.
I thought we were done with this. I thought that's where it'd end. Back and forth, back and forth. You win a round, I win a round. You win a round, I win a round. And we keep going. We just keep going. Surely something has to give in one of these rounds. I thought that was going to be it. Bemis says, yeah, I'm just going to make you look a little bit like a fool. And now, you can see, oh, this is shaky for Red Canids here. You've got 2 Tech 9s. Yeah, B has to be the play here. Maybe a little bit of a short pop. Actually, the flashes are going to be dropped here. So, out Monster, they are going to try and go and this is a decent call considering the setup here from ITB. You've only got Tamiko with an SMG. The flashes are going to rain over. Tamiko needs to go absolutely huge. Needs the backup from his teammate. Look at the T's though now just swarming the site. Good for just one. Bim a shot in the back. And Red Canids surely get a bomb down here. And ITB, are you going to attempt this?
This is getting a little bit ridiculous, guys. Like, what is going on here? I don't know, man. With such a deep smoke, maybe not. They're going to try for a boost. Oh, if Crucial had committed, there'd maybe have been a frag. There it is. Not going to be a lot of time left here. Peeking from short. They know there's got to be two in towards the ABC area. And they're just not going for it, man. Just not going for it. You know, not enough space with where the smokes had come down, etc., etc. Yeah, it's kind of wild out here. It's kind of wild. 5-2-5. Really going to be a close half when it moves over. And a game like this, you know, just goes to show how big any kind of advantage could be. But this is just crazy, isn't it? You know.
This is gone beyond the joke at this stage. This is ridiculous territory that, you know, we haven't seen at least one team kind of pull into the lead. And fair enough if we were seeing, you know, what you usually see when it's a close game like this, it's, all right, I'll win 2 or 3 rounds, then you win 2 or 3 rounds. You know, it's, you know, it is kind of back and forth. It's not just, you know, I have a go, you have a go. Like Canids, oh, fast little short play maybe. Gonna get Venom Zero in here. He's gonna go for a peek, try and go, try and be flashed out, but it's the perfect reaction from ITB. They're gonna push in, try and lock this one down if they can. Lots of damage from Masuda, but unlucky maybe not to get a second kill out of that scenario. Molly burns the feet of Bimas as he has to vacate the premises behind the sandbags. Red Canids, they have the control, but you can see how uncomfortable they are. They don't know where the retake is coming from. They know there's a heavy presence towards short at least, so the flank will be watched for sure. But where has this bomb been planted for? Just in front of the pillar. Nathan not going to be cleared out. Tamiko has his teammate covered as of right now. Crucial waiting for the swing of Hards out. And Destiny left completely alone. And that was definitely out of the question. Never going to hold on from there. ITB forfeit the site, but the adjustment was just right.
Yeah, beautifully done. Beautifully done. I think we've seen a lot of messy rounds for sure when it comes to those retakes, but that was one of the cleaner ones, one of the more thought out ones. You know, not got players gunning it through smokes or moving a bit too fast. There has been an awful lot of that it's like, oh, we got to try and catch them while they're in the movement before the bomb goes down, etc. But much better from ITB to gather their bearings, as it were. Just, you know, come so late into the round, into the half, sorry. And it is probably what has contributed to this incredibly back and forth nature. Does continue there. A much cleaner round that makes a bit more sense for Into the Breach to win, for sure. It's not off the back of like a weird half buy, but still, no one has strung around together for, I think, at least 5 now. It's been bouncing back and forth. Let's see if Into the Breach can change that tune. Barlin. Well read, well held. Beautiful first frag. Ooh, got to be careful on his way out, though.
Oh, I love this from him as well. He's not going to exit. He's just going to continue to wait. He's going to walk through it as well, is he? He's thinking about it. He's sat in it. Eventually that smoke is going to clear, and I liked it. But when you're just going to sit in the smoke like that, that is always an issue. They could be absolutely anywhere. They could be waiting for you. And Roland gives up that man advantage. Crucial has a chance to get it back. But that one falls by the wayside. Masuda getting up as close as possible. Hards out, I don't believe, has heard the molly, but the flash will give it away for sure. Not going to be blind. Mac 10 tears him up. As the CTs need to get into position, Crucial doesn't want to stand behind the dice as the pressure is relentless right now from Red Canids. Flash drop, Bimus looking for some AK heroics on A once again. 1 for now, maybe just a little bit more as Crucial connects onto 2, and surely we're going to see a consecutive round here from ITB. And finally we do, to close out the half. 7-5, a slender advantage.
Yeah, well done from them, I think. It was about damn time somebody found some kind of an advantage. Lovely close out there from Crucial. A lot of weight going to be on this pistol then. I would imagine that the swap over of the half means that things may well change in terms of that vacillation. But ultimately, I think both teams will want to find stability early on, as it was something that was fleeting at the start of the game. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I do like the way that Into the Breach were looking there towards the end, and I think that this T side could be difficult to deal with, right? And get a lot of individuals activated quite easily on this map. Oh, that smoke's a little bit deep, to be honest. Venom Zero misses out the opportunity to find the frag. Bomb going to go down. A fully fledged retake here from Red Canids.
Yeah, they've got some decent utility. They drop a molly. Tamiko is not going to be comfortable whatsoever. He's forced out into a fight, but he wins it at least. The CTs try and just barrel their way past if they can, and so far so good. Rallen left standing alone on top of the sandbags, and he might not be ready for it. Peeks up. Davideus needs to find the headshot, and that's a very quick reaction to get off the bomb. And a man that only found 1 kill in the first half, he will have 3 as the pistol comes to its conclusion. Red Canids draw blood first in this second half.
Bro, imagine he actually finds finds those kills from the little peekaboo spot on shore. That was hilarious. Just kind of chilling in that smoke, popping up. But yeah, what a bloodbath. What a bloodbath of water, man. Goodness gracious me. Into the Breach, so getting the bomb down. Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we see them go for a buy. That's exactly what they do. Maybe would have liked to see a Mac 10 here just to carry some more utility, but 5 Galils across the board. 4 smokes. So at least they've got those. Bare bones basics of an execute if they want to go for it. No flashes, though. That's so wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, what's kind of going for them on the other side as well is there's a smoke and a flash. Smoke just going to be used there. Oh, Hard's out. He has seen a lot towards middle and doesn't want to see very much more. Kind of cower in towards map and boost up a player, but Knighton's been spotted. They forfeit that boost. All the information in the world here for ITB, but as you said, the lack of utility, the lack of flashes, so they just have to run up with the weaponry, run up with the firepower, and hope they hit their shots. Crucial needs to clear out this position towards the truck, but so many bodies here once again. The kills go in favour of Red Canids as Knighton finds his second and retreats to safety, and the pressure and responsibility falls onto the new boy. Tamiko, who gets unfortunate. Tagged through the smoke. Knighton was making sure that he was not going to get close to him without being heard or at least damaged.
Difficult for Into the Breach now, I think. Particularly no plan. It's going to make things incredibly costly here. For sure.
You even seen the blood splatter there when he was spamming through the smoke. I know he would have heard him anyway, but just the blood splatter, or just knowing exactly where he was then, no problem. Yeah, that's a tough one for ITB, to be honest, but it is a risky run when you don't purchase an SMG, you don't purchase like any flashes at all. If they have, some flashes there, they get a little bit more space taken away from Red Canids, and there is a chance that they just overwhelm them and some of those fights aren't traded out.
Oh, Hard's out. Takes a nasty little dink there. And the MP9 at this range against Eagles, we're taking a few risky peeks on the Red Canid side. There it is. Davideus does pay the price. At least, the trades are there. You've only lost an MP9. He's quite poor, though. He could have done with holding on to that, to be honest. If Bemis finds another one here, it could get a bit fruity. Not going to happen for him, though, unfortunately. So, Red Canid's taking the lead here on the CT side. Starting to flex their muscles a bit, I think, with this here map pick. We did say that it had 3 maps written all over it, this one, but Into the Breach still got time, still got space to change that narrative and tap into this supposedly flawless overpass. I think it's quite shallow, but you never know.
Might be shallow, but it is still flawless, and you can boast that. Even if you're just 1-1, you're still unbeaten. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I get what you mean. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. There's only 2 maps played on CS2, you know? One of them is against Sprout, who for me have always been a fair overpass team. But I believe they would have lost. Yeah, definitely would have lost Wonderful by that point. So, you know, it's difficult. I think against a team with much more experience. And the CT side requires less sort of mind gaming and whatnot, right? It is just about playing your fundamentals well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Another technical pause. A little bit of a TeamSpeak issue, so hopefully that will be fixed shortly. ITB at least have this, you know, this buy kind of now to rely on. And although this game is still extremely close, to be honest, ITB are in the better position if they can just at least guarantee themselves a bomb plant here. You know, they will at least have a buy in the next round as well. In terms of Red Canids, reset potential is there on some players. Destiny might be able to drop over in AWP tonight, and if they want to risk, you know, going for a hero up in the next round should they be unsuccessful. But we're probably going to see, you know, ITB make a play to one of the bomb sites. If it doesn't go well for Red Canids, it should just be the save. If they can keep, you know, 2 or 3 players up, happy days. But if I were to be, you know, pushed for an answer of who would be the happier of the two, I think ITB so far are in the better position with, you know, more opportunity on the horizon.
Yeah, a few issues in this game for sure. Definitely cursed it by saying we'd had a clean day thus far.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hopefully shouldn't be too long, right? The old TeamSpeak issues. It does drop out from time to time. Just want to make sure your connection's all good. I also think they often use it as code for something else, you know, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A toilet break.
That old chestnut, yeah. Oh, TeamSpeak's lagging, yeah. Oh, headset issue. I've never had a headset issue in my life, by the way. And you'd be surprised the amount of times I've seen, oh, headset issue.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Looks like we're getting back into it, though. So long as they don't take the Michael, I am not too bothered. You know, you got to go to the toilet. You got to go to the toilet. There's not much can be done about that, really.
Yeah. When nature calls, you know what I mean? You have
exactly.
You have to play by the rules. You'd have a wet seat.
Very true, very true. Oh, I like this. Bemis somewhat ready for it. Definitely going to know they're up there now that nade has come in and he finds the kill. Absolutely massive entry. Nobody around to deal with him. Nobody around to trade him. Meanwhile, a contact up. A short hard Zhao is going to get caught. Yes, he is. Trade is there. Ooh, for a second, I could foresee him finding multiple. Not going to be the case. The A bomb site in complete jeopardy here. Yes, there's 2 players around, but both severely split. Player out towards long is deep in at long as well. He's really quite far away from the action. Oh, and a gift for Rarlan as he rounds that corner. 2 remain. Probably just a save here for Red Canids. Unless Davideus can stop the bomb. But a lovely little freeze call here from Into the Breach.
Yeah, I really like this. You know, let Red Canids maybe make the mistake, make them walk into you, and that's exactly what happens. Now it's just Venom Zero left to save. And Bimas is so close by, might be able to spot him and take him down. Yeah, this is worst case scenario for Red Canids right now. The loss bonus coming into effect. You can see Destiny is the only one that is going to be extremely comfortable on their buy. So it's a hero from him. And the rest of them should just save. I don't think we should see the full investment from everybody. Oh, but I have been wrong before. Not often, but it has happened. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this. I can understand why they're going for it. You know, they might be on a little bit of a double eco, but surely you get a better buy in the next round if you save this and just play with that M4. you at least have, 2 or 3 rifles in the round. And again, it is much of a muchness, really, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, getting a bit stressy out here, though, towards the tail end of this second map. Red Canids obviously want to stay alive here and do their compatriots proud. Stay up in the upper bracket. That's just what it's called. But Into the Breach going to have other ideas. Coming in as the favourite of this game as well, so we are kind of expecting them to win. It potentially goes from a question of will it be in 2 to in 3, but as you mentioned, right, if you're here for the pre-game, the veto actually worked out relatively well for Red Canids. We've got Anubis coming up next. Another pretty decent map for them. One of the shakier maps for Into the Breach, so if they don't win it here, it's not like it's guaranteed that they win it. It never is, but you know what I mean. It's not like you look at the map and feel Into the Breach are 80-20 to take it. It's more 50-50, and maybe even that's a little generous. Nice peek coming in from Nithon. Will lose his head, Rarlan. It's a good flash, but Destiny actually manages to get one. Unfortunately, there's just not that much support to go around. Plant going to come in. Tamiko getting a bit cheeky down in the bank. He's going to keep going. And it just becomes a semi-saving mission. You've only got MP9s to hold on to. They're not really that great. You might as well try and earn the kill bonus instead. But, well, if you're going down for free, couldn't get much worse than that.
ITB, it's been such a close game. But ITB, the way I describe it, they've won the rounds in the perfect moments. Now, you look at the money of Red Canids, it is in the bin. Absolutely in the bin. You've got this SMG, yeah, grand. But, you're getting down to 9, then this next round, it shouldn't go your way unless ITB outplay themselves completely. Then you're looking at 10-8. You've got, one more buy, maybe, to have a bash at it. And then still after that, should you be unsuccessful, 2,900 going to be going into the bank accounts as well. So it is only upgraded pistols on what could possibly lead to a map and series point to ITB. Hot water right now for Red Canids. Real hot water. And do they deserve to be in it? I think they've got unfortunate with the way that it has kind of played out. But at the same time, ITB have done well enough to keep themselves in this position even when their CT side wasn't perfect. The T side has been the better of the two. But they just need to continue to remain focused and continue to put these rounds up on the board, because we know that ITB sometimes they do get a little bit ahead of themselves. And that could be completely detrimental to their chances of a 2-0 here.
Surely nothing to come in this round. Venom Zero on a creep. Looking for an opportunity. If only that door were open. Beamus holding in for the flank here. Venom Zero is potentially trying to make a move. Opens the door. Flash comes in. Nobody around to get blinded by it. Easy pickup for Masuta. There goes the scariest weapon of the round. Beamus with a lurking play. May well call that B looks pretty good here, guys, but ultimately they can just play around with their food at this point. Plenty of time, plenty of space at the end of the day with how strong they look thanks to those opening couple of kills.
Oh, that is so awkward. Somehow Nathan is still standing. Somehow Crucial is still standing. But I don't think it is going to be for long. Heaven player proving to be very difficult to deal with. 10-8 now. This is Red Canids' chance, and one of their only chances really to kind of stop ITB. They fall short in this one, then we are looking at really big problems and quite a big gap. Juve calling for the first tactical timeout. ITB have taken on overpass, realizing the weight of the situation. making sure everybody is clued in to what is going on. And if you're ITB here, you've played it kind of slow, you've played it kind of methodical. Do you kind of change up the tempo here, or do you just keep plugging away at what was working?
Honestly, I think you maybe change it up a bit here. Just in that early setup. Just in that early setup. Not for the entire round, but I would look for, you know, a quick connector play. Something like that that's just fresh and different. Because Red Canids are in their own heads right now, trying to perfect their own game, and if you keep changing yours up, that's another constant that they have to deal with, which obviously makes things very difficult. So would hope for that. It looked like maybe they were going to speed up towards short there, but there's actually a Molotov that comes down. Still committed to this short idea. Destiny on a bit of a jump peak. And will spot them. So, yeah, could have been big. They're actually really picking up the pace onto the B-bomb site itself. Oh, catching one with an aid in hand. Looks like it might just work out for them. Davideus, what can he get done? Only one. Not going to be enough. Beamers for 3, man. This guy's absolutely unstoppable in these recent rounds. In the entire game, though, he has looked brilliant. A player dropped down by Mouse. He really, really, really struggled towards the end of his tenure on that team. He was costing them some big rounds. Anchoring out the bomb sites just unsuccessfully. And now on into the breach. Maybe this is his new lease on life. Looking great on this map, though. That's for damn sure.
Fantastic call there from ITB. They do switch it up. It's a little bit slower, but really good short pop there. You smoke off towards the connected door, make sure nobody come out. Sometimes teams, if they want to do it a little bit quicker, they'll make sure that, you know, if they're doing it on a rush with Tech 9s, let's say, they'll smoke that short molly that they were waiting behind initially, and then smoke the connected door, swing out with the pillar flashes. But they played that to perfection, and even not just swinging up onto the side here, finding the kills, just kind of standing still. Bimas, just before he gets blinded completely and sets himself even to find a third. Yeah, he has not done anything wrong whatsoever. He's been a credit to ITB today, and really on overpass he's been a massive difference maker. And Red Canids have to be scratching their heads and thinking, you know, well, if Bimas wasn't absolutely putting up a show-stopping performance, would we be a whole lot closer? But you can't be making those excuses now. You can't be thinking about that. You just need to get on with what is in front of you. You need to try and take him out of the equation early on if you can. But all I'm going to say is, thank God it's not my job.
Yeah. What do you say from here? Oh, it's tense. And these are the moments where you really make your money, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Hards out. Off angle. Rarland. Shadow spotted. Easily picked off. And a second for Hards out there. Massive stuff. He will go down, but he's done the damage. Oh, Nathan falls quickly, though. That'll make the difference here. I thought maybe the trade would come in from that position, but really well read from Basuta to just keep the aggression on. And obviously finding those frags. Bit of a freeze call. Crucial may well have heard the splash of water. Spotted a shadow. We're unsure, but he seems thrown off, doesn't he, by that angle now. Really not liking it over there. Again, into the breach, doing a really good job of just freezing things up. Oh, close. It's not quite fast enough, however. It will be an A hit to end the round.
Such a difficult shot to hit. Was a whisker away. Destiny's still going to tempt fate a little bit, going for the jump peaks. Venom Zero needs to start moving, and now he will, especially with Destiny spotting out and taking down the bomb. Tamiko is going to try and walk into the site. There's only 10 seconds here. Crucial is not going to get any further. This has to be on the AK. This has to be on the rifle. He's been dealt with. 6 seconds. Crucial needs to get out of there, and Crucial could go down from behind. He had a sneaky suspicion that there was somebody behind him, and well, Venom Zero gets beside him. Crucial, make sure he doesn't go down. Tucks himself away to safety. That off is going to be part of this next round for sure. Red Canids still a part of this game. No map and series point just yet. We're into the breach.
Yeah, nice stuff. Nice stuff from Red Canids. We'll see. There is obviously plenty of cash available for Into the Breach, even for 1 or maybe even 2 losses. Hards out, getting aggressive. Will he be expected here? No, he won't, but they do take him in 1. Not a bad move of aggression. It's so far up, they don't lose too much map control for it, but I'm never a fan of the 1-for-1s on that CT side, right? T sides are always going to be a fan of softening the defense.
Yeah, I mean, in a 4v4 and a 3v3, the defense or the offense is obviously going to be the better of the two, because unless it's a stacked bomb site, you're probably walking into, you know, a more favorable fight. But right now, ITB, they are going to be walking into a little bit of a stack here. Venom Zero has been left completely alone. Destiny's been spotted here. That's massive from Rallen. Rallen has not been seen. He's just going to be ready and waiting for the perfect time. Cannot take advantage of it. Knighton can strike from connector, but Masuda has done a whole lot of damage. Was Bimas spotted? The answer is no. And as Knighton turns away, Bimas strikes once again. And Venom Zero, we've seen some big clutch moments from him. Here's the fall into water, and Venom Zero can position himself perfectly. The steps being made. Bimas coming out, back turn to Miko, needs to hit the headshot, and he's going to be able to find it. ITB's new boy on loan from Permita steps up to do the business. And he might have just reset the money at Red Canids as well.
What a beast. What an absolute beast. Love to see it. Absolutely. Oh man, yeah. He's been looking good over the past few months. You know, he was nearly a player that we highlighted, but just because he'd been in for all of a few days and only 1 game before this one, we didn't quite want to point a finger on him just yet. You know, it's a very different place, but on Permitter, he's been looking pretty good. Pretty good. So we are seeing flashes of it. I definitely wouldn't say that he has been unbelievably good, right, and blowing our socks off, but these couple maps, he's been decent. Sat towards the middle of the pack, which is not bad for your opening few games, for sure. Alrighty, 12-9. Oh, this is a super rough buy, isn't it, as well, when you look on that left-hand side of your screen, man. Severe lack of utility. Weaponry just not there at all. You said the FAMAS is a little better, but, you know, it would have been nice to have an M4 or 2 in the mix, I'm sure.
I mean, look, I'm optimistic. I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? M4, perfect. FAMAS, not so much. As Hards Out does find out, Knighton doesn't even get a chance to use his. Masuda might have a perfect opportunity to drop Venom Zero. Does he see him? The answer is no. So that at least gives Red Canids just a small bit of opportunity. Venom Zero doing a lot of damage to Crucial, but in the end just comes up a little bit too short. And now Red Canids, the defense is going to be split. Crucial, gets his gun up as well to find the headshot. Is the destiny of Red Canids to be the lower bracket? We will find out shortly. A FAMAS, no kit, no utility, and a 1v3. A tall order. Destiny now with what must feel like the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Creeping out from heaven. Spotted and deleted. Rallen will take it for Into the Breach. Took them some time. It really did. It really, really did. You know, that first half was so bouncy. No idea who was going to come out on top of it. Into the Breach just about. And then they started off well in that second half, but it felt like Red Canids were getting back in. But towards that very tail end, I think Into the Breach and Bemis in particular really showing their experience, you know, and just the things that they're capable of at the end of the day. Red Canids are an individually fantastic team. Really, really solid. And I think that they will be incredibly happy on the Into the Breach side that they were able to put them away in 2.
Yeah, look, I mean, Red Canids, they're going to be disappointed that they didn't at least take their own map pick. A close game, you know, the Counter-Strike wasn't extremely clean from either sides. I don't think both teams are going to be, you know, happy about it. It was very kind of rough around the edges. But I'm excited to see what Red Canids can bring for the rest of this event, to be honest.
Sure.
I think ITB, you know, maybe the fact that they played an earlier best of 3, even though they did lose it, they were maybe a little bit sharper in certain scenarios. But what it came down to on that final map for me was just ITB winning the right rounds in the right places. And sadly to say, I mean, it's just a bad day to be a Brazilian Counter-Strike fan, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That's a bit unfortunate.
And grenade statistics. Check out round maps in the match results. Extend your game vision with bo3.gg.
Yo, what are you doing?
Exhibit.
What do you think? I'm a paperclip? It's Mr. X to the Z. You need to quit browsing like a lame and get Opera GX. Because with GX mods, you can pimp your motherfucking browser. All you gotta do is click here, select the mod, and boom! New look, new sounds, new everything. It's not easy being a legend. Oh, not again. Change the mod now. Download Opera GX.